Hey guys, another PSA from us today. And we want to go through what's in store for this week's reactor farming and everything you need to know to make your grind more efficient and rewarding. Also, I just want to mention that I logged in after the Hotfix 1.0.7 and there's a brand new inventory UI and specifically for reactors. It's always been a bit of a pain to check the differences between reactors without individually inspecting every one. But now we can see everything that we need to identify them. It used to be just the reactor's upgrade level, but now we can see the attributes and skill type from the inventory screen. This is a massive improvement over the old system. The only way it could get better is maybe adding a small picture of the weapon or maybe at least the ammo type to this display. This week is going to be a massive one with some optimal reactors for tons of characters dropping. So in this video, we're going to tell you what reactors are on rotation this week, their associated Descendant, where to farm for them, and our recommendations for the most efficient farming missions. Some of the big Descendants that you're going to want to farm for this week include Enzo, Gley, Valby, and Freyna, but there's also plenty of other unique reactor combinations you need to grab before they're gone. These will include some more niche reactors for specialised builds and playstyles that we are going to be covering in future videos, so keep an eye out for those. Okay, so let's start with Enzo, Gley and Valby, seeing as they use very similar reactors. Mirage Stone in the Agna Desert has non-attribute general rounds and dimension reactors. This is the perfect farm for all of these Descendants. Gley's Massacre ability scales off the fire rate of her currently equipped weapon, so most builds will generally use the Python SMG. So the mission we recommend farming here is the Heavy Equipment Entry Path Extermination mission or the Commanding Ground Barrier Deactivation. The same is also useful for Enzo because his second ability, Explosive Drone, is a dimension skill, and realistically the only one he cares about boosting. A singular reactor could be useful as well, seeing as he generally wants 100% uptime on his fourth ability, Perfect Support, and a boost towards its damage would be nice. But seeing as Enzo usually uses shot focus, the damage on his fourth ability doesn't matter too much. Mobbing builds with Valby will also want to farm here, as her second and third abilities, also known as her most useful abilities, are dimension skills. This means that farming for something like a Thunder Cage variant will be her best option. Some lesser played Descendants that will also want to farm here would be Kyle and Jaber. Now, Jaber's turrets are both dimension skills, so for the maximum boost you'll want one of these reactors. And for Kyle, seeing as his third ability is actually a dimension skill. But we're not too sure about the Kyle meta in regards to mobbing and his other abilities besides his fourth. We also know that he wants to use Secret Garden, so watch out for our weekly breakdown when that's in rotation. Overall for farming here in Mirage Stone, we're looking out for variants with Enduring Legacy, Thunder Cage and Python mountings. So some of the bonus attributes we're looking for here are Skill Crit Damage, Skill Crit Rate, Faction bonus damage, and non-attribute skill boost. Freyna, our only toxic Descendant, is also looking pretty good this week, with general rounds and tech reactors dropping in the Moonlight Lake region of Vespers. Seeing as most Freyna builds use Fallen Hope as their primary weapon for both mobbing and bossing, grabbing a few of these with good bonus attributes is pretty much mandatory for her success. Maybe a Thunder Cage variant would also be useful for lower end mobbing, but Freyna's abilities alone make Thunder Cage pretty redundant. And here we're looking for Skill Crit, Toxic Skill Boost, Skill Cost, and Faction Bonus Damage as our attributes on these. So let's look at our Fire attribute Descendants this week. They have a lot to farm as well. Lepics with mobbing builds will appreciate the tech, special rounds and fire-boosted reactors from the Misty Woods region in Echo Swamp, with mounting for Greg's Reverse Fate. Esiemo, who, by the way, we've got a massive video coming out about him very soon, he will also want to farm these reactors, specifically for Secret Garden mountings, which also got a pretty nice buff recently. Now, not to leave Blair out, but he also has a really good rotation this week, with Dimension reactors for both general and special rounds in the Fallen Theatre in Kingston and the Derelict Covert in the Echo Swamp, respectively. Bunny also has a great reactor this week, with Electric, General Rounds and Singular being in the Ruins in Vesper. This is perfect for her mobbing and bossing builds, getting Thunder Cage and Enduring Legacy variants for both. The Ruins Courtyard mission here isn't too bad to farm, but the area unfortunately just isn't that great for enemy density. Finally, Ajax's mobbing builds that use Expulsion or Void Walk are also in store for a good reactor farm in the Destruction in Kingston, featuring non-attribute, special rounds and tech. If you run something like Greg's Reverse Fate on an Ajax, this is the week to farm reactors. Any of the missions here are okay to farm, as they're all pretty equal on enemy density. So overall this week, you can see it's stacked for reactors. We're going to be spending most of our time grabbing these and testing them out, especially seeing as we're cooking up some crazy and unique weapon and ascend builds that you won't want to miss. If you've already got the reactors that you want, check out our previous video that covers the best overall farm for XP, gold and void shards, which is on screen now and in the description below. Also, our short video series on energy activator and catalyst farming is down there as well, so be sure to check them out. I'd love to hear how your reactor farming is going in the comments, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.